Happy Easter, everybody! So today we're going to be making flaounes, okay? Now every Easter my mom makes these amazing traditional Cypriot Flaounes. That's what they're called. Coming from the island of Cyprus, this is what everybody makes during Easter time. And well, my mom makes them really, really well. I love them so much, but they're not vegan. She doesn't make them vegan. So I'm taking the opportunity this Easter to make you guys some vegan flaounes, is what they're called. And what they are basically is a cheese-filled pastry, and you can make your cheese sweet or not. And there's a lot of exotic spices in there, like mastica and mehlep, okay? So these are really exotic Mediterranean spices. And yeah, so let's get started. Let me show you how to make these amazing, delicious flaounes. So the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna take a jar or can of chickpeas, and you're going to separate the chickpeas from the water, and we're going to use the water only in this recipe. So just store your chickpeas away, and you can use your chickpeas for another recipe. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pour the chickpea brine into a bowl. And now with your mixer, and remember that you need to do this with a mixer. You can't do this with your hand because it just won't whip up. So you got to do this with a mixer, an electric mixer. So you're gonna mix it. You're gonna mix it for about 10 minutes. So I've only been mixing for about 2 minutes, and look. Already, it's all foamy, and it reminds you of, it's really reminiscent of egg whites, okay? So we're gonna keep mixing this for a few more minutes. So I've been mixing this chickpea brine for about 5 minutes, and it looks good enough to use now as an egg replacer. So let's do it. So what we've done is we set aside our egg whites, and to another bowl, we're going to add in some vegan cheese. Now I've mixed some vegan cheddar cheese with some white cheese. And don't forget, all the measurements are in the description below. So for the details, check out the description. Okay, so now we're putting in 200 grams of plain vegan white cream cheese. And we're gonna go ahead and take our egg whites and put in about 12 tablespoons of these beautiful frothy egg whites. So 1, 2, 6, 7, 8. So after we added in the 12 tablespoons of egg whites, we're now putting in 2/3 cup of semolina. So that's gonna go in. So now we're going to put in some mastica powder. This is going to give our filling some nice fragrant flavors. So, and also we're going to add in some mehlep powder. That in. And a little bit of cinnamon. All right. Okay, we're putting in 2/3 cup of sugar, granulated sugar. And some baking powder, some fresh mint leaves, and lastly we're going to just sprinkle in some raisins, as many as you like. So with your hands you're just going to mix everything up. Just knead it. Make sure that cream cheese is nice and melted by squeezing it with your hands. Just knead it with your knuckles until all the ingredients are nicely combined. So we have some really nice flavors going on here. The freshly cut mint leaves and the raisins and the mehlep powder and the cinnamon are really starting to come through. And these are like the classic flavors of the flaounes, traditional Cypriot cheese-filled pastries. So I'm really excited to bake these, and especially because these are vegan, and I really want these to taste really good, just to show my family that, you know, you can have vegan flaounes too that taste wonderful. So So after you're done kneading it and all the ingredients are well combined, you're just going to cover it with some saran wrap and put it in the fridge and let it rest until you make your dough. So that's what we're going to do now. We're going to stick this in the fridge and make the dough. So to a bowl, we have added 2 1/4 cups of white flour. This is organic white flour. And now to this, we're going to add in a 1/2 cup of vegetable oil. And with your fingers, you can just mix it up till it gets all clumpy and crumbly. I forgot to add in some of the mastica powder, so I'm just going to do that now. And also a little bit of cinnamon. Okay, so just keep mixing that up until the oil and the flour is well combined. So once your dough is nice and crumbly, you're gonna go ahead and add in some milk. This is vegan milk. This is about 1/2 cup. Just wanna add half of it first and mix it in. Now we're just gonna go ahead and add in the rest. Okay, so now what you want to do is just you want to knead it with your hands and make sure that it's all combined together. And just knead it for about 5 minutes until you get a nice dough ball. Okay, so now that it's ready, we're going to put it back into the bowl and you're going to cover it with saran wrap so that it keeps its moisture. And then we're going to fill our flaounes. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to cut a piece of our dough. Okay. And we're going to roll it out with a rolling pin into a circular shape. Like so. So now that our dough is shaped into a circular shape, we're going to place it onto the sesame seeds. And then with a spoon, we're going to take some of the filling, place it in the center. So we're just going to fold up the sides. And then fold this up as well. Pinch it. And also fold this side up and pinch it. There we go, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and finish the rest of these flaounes. So I brushed these flaounes with some olive oil and now we're going to bake them into the oven. They go, and I'll let you guys know the temperature and the amount of time in the description below. So it was such a blast making these Easter flaounes at my mom's house with my little doggy as well. So in case you noticed that the video is a little bit different than other times. So these flaounes are incredibly delicious. If you crack open the flaouna, you're gonna notice there's a really cheesy interior with a lot of flavorful spices like the mastica and the exotic mehlep spice. And the mehlep spice is actually ground cherry seeds, which is really incredibly unique to use in your baking. And also the mastica as well. It's really, really delicious. And also, you'll notice that in this recipe, I'm using chickpea brine for the eggs, okay? Because this recipe calls for a lot of eggs. So I'm using chickpea brine, and you guys are gonna be so impressed when you see how you can whip up this chickpea brine into egg whites. Okay, so there's nothing like baking Easter flaounes at your mother's house, okay? These flaounes are so delicious. My whole family loves them, even though they're not made with regular eggs and cheese. They still really, really, really enjoyed them. So that's a great sign that this recipe is really amazing, okay? I hope you guys try it, and I hope you have a happy Easter. And if you like this video, hit that like button, and if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe to the channel, guys. I'm here giving you lots of sweet and savory vegan recipes every week. Happy Easter!